Welcome! This is actually the third video about joins. The first two showed how to write a join. In this one, we're going to look at different extensions like how to use a join along with other clauses like where. So here is a join selecting data from two different tables, cost and cost stack, and disambiguating as usual. And we use a where clause as we always have, to obtain only certain customers, a specific customer. That customer has two accounts, so we see customers and their accounts because we're joining, but we see only the customer we're interested in thanks to the where clause. So far so good. A second problem is that you can actually use aliases to rename columns. You will like it especially if you find that cust.refno is not a very good name for a column. You can use as and rename the column. Here I've not rewritten the whole query, you can work that out. And here I've not rewritten the whole query either, you can still work that out. I'm using double quotes to alias the column as I wish, using a space. And this is the result. This is the top of the result showing the column names. The rest is all the same. It's also possible to alias tables, like this. Here is my usual query, or the query I have used as example already several times. But this time, instead of cust.refno, I'm going to use a shorthand for cust. C. So I write c.refno from cust, and I rename the table. Did you notice I am not using as? I'm simply putting the alias after the table's name. In a join, cost stack, okay, and then I use ca for cost stack, and now I can use ca dot where I would have used cost stack dot. The alias makes it possible to shorthand my query. Where again I use the alias, I can use the alias anywhere. Here's the result. It can get confusing over time. After aliases, here is another idea, joining more than two tables. You might think it's a bit much, but actually it isn't. It's a very common thing. Most of the time, database systems become quite large, and as they do, the contents of data is subdivided between 3, 4, 10 tables, and to obtain data that is useful, we use the join technique over, again, 4, 5 tables quite commonly. So 3 of them. The data is held in 3 related tables: cost, the customer details; cost stack, which customer has which account; and ac, the accounts themselves. And we can see these relationships there, seeing that a customer can have several accounts with the reference number as the common column that allows to see which customer has which account, and the account is related to the customer that has them via the account number column shared between the cost stack and ac tables. So we'll try a query again, picking up the name from one table, the balance of the account from the other. That would be quite a common thing, to be able to see the name of the customer and the money they have. And also the reference number from the cost stack table there. So we have a column from each of the 3 tables that we are joining at the moment. And we'll write from cost, there's the cost table, which we join with cost stack the reference number being equal to the reference number there. But we also need to join cust and custac with the ACK table. So we do another inner join. This time with ACK on account number here and here. So that those two are going to be the same. And if you had more tables, you would just keep adding inner joins, daisy chaining the joins until you eventually have all the tables you want. There's the result of this one. You might think, if you don't need the reference number here from this middle table, can it become easier? No, unfortunately. We're using 3 tables, but only the name and balance from the first and last of these tables. Name and balance, but we still need to inner join the 3 tables, cust, custac and ACK. So we can forget displaying the column from the middle table. There's our result. But we still have to join all the tables. Does that sound difficult? All these techniques might sound a bit difficult, but they are not once you practice.